All right, guys, this is it. Check this out. All right, bam. GG, dude.
Where you going?
All right, we're definitely getting baited. Come on, man. Oh my god. No way. No fucking way. All right. Bark Beast could be better than Teemo. I'm not seeing it, guys. Listen, I know suddenly we just have a lot of like Teemo non-believers. God, we're attacking on 3. Against like Lulu, I kind of want to open attack on 3. Deck is going to be bad if he doesn't draw Lulu, and I don't want to play a Boom Crew into Lulu's stat line on turn 3, so I have to mulligan one of my Boom Crews. But like, look at how good this Teemo is, guys. This is great. Like, Teemo's nuts here. How are you guys going to say Teemo is nuts? Now that we have Onlooker, we might be developing into 3.
Hang on. You're rolling.
Yeah, Hapless is pretty great here. The 3-2 makes the Boom Crew open attack awkward anyway. So yeah, it looks like we're just Haplessing here.
Egg. Did it move?
Anything else?
Get me out of here.
I think this block is always good. Stygian to block the 3-2 and then Boom Crew. Using Stygian as a 1-mana 2-1 feels kind of bad. It might have actually been proper in this case. Man, that would have felt bad. Like, you're still getting cucked by Lulu. I think I'm just playing Prankster here. Am I trolling? Alright, we're about to find out.
Here I am. I scout ahead.
So, super slow start. Yeah, the Bomber Twins actually messed up my start a lot. Actually happy to just take out this Lulu. Lulu is just so terrifying in that deck, it's ridiculous. The discard is kind of painful though. Oh, I mean, if he doesn't have like Flame Chompers, how scary is Lulu really? Yeah, I think she actually can't be that scary. This looks like an interesting one where we do actually go for the Onlooker here.
When nature calls, a Vandal Scout follows.
Well, no, Rookie's still gonna be better. Lulu's gonna be scary in a turn or two. Nah.
Of course I'm ready.
Whoa, dizzy.
Nah, we're Boom Crewers. I think we can take a little Nexus damage. 9, I think that's okay. Yeah, looks good, looks good. We can actually, I do need to play a little bit proactively to unbrick for next turn. So I can take like 1 glimpse. Just because this hand is a little awkward. I am losing out on a little bit of damage by doing that. God, I wish we had 1 play next turn. This hand would be so much better if we just had 1 actual play we can make next turn.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, this is why Stygian might have been better there. Yeah, it should have been Stygian because I was gonna do this. I think this would have been proper with whatever I played anyway. I don't think we'll need that Boom Crew damage. Sacrifice Teemo. Well, Teemo is at least getting attacks in, guys. Teemo sucks so much. You should take that back. Teemo sucks? What?
Come closer. I don't bite.
Welcome to the team.
Are you guys like counting how much damage Teemo's doing every turn? It's like a very discernible amount, my friends. All right, so we're gonna need to accelerate a little bit. So the question is, okay, so we do an attack. We have Teemo as a blocker. We have Doombeast as a blocker. Okay, so yeah, it's Doombeast here, and it's just like a solo attack with Teemo then. If I do this, Elise dies, the spider dies. Doombeast takes me to 15. Block it down. He's got 4, 4, 3, 15. I think that's good enough, actually. Yeah, we can get an extra bit of damage because of the spiderling on offense. I think this is the best balance to it, yeah.
Let's fight.
Teemo has also been useful as an elusive blocker in other matchups. Guys, the fact that Teemo can like... Guys, Teemo's like nuts here. Like, Teemo's literally the only reason we're still in this game. What do you guys mean Teemo sucks?
Not for everyone.
This game would literally be lost right now if there was no Teemo on my board. Teemo just did 3 damage and 15 puff caps, which is an average of, in a game at this speed, like 4.5 damage roughly.
Oh boy, here I go.
I don't think there's any way I could need to kill that Fizz right away. Yeah, Doombeast should be safe here. Hey, it's true. Yordle sometimes. Good meme, dude. It's sick. Nah, very, very scary. It would be nice to have like a cask salesman though. I would enjoy that. We might be a little short on damage all of a sudden. Oh well. Now we've got Boom Crew. So it should just be this. This is the only way we stay out of range of Mystic Lulu there. No, we have to kill, guys. Wait, Mysticking Lulu doesn't buy us a turn, right? Like, so don't think about it in terms of value. It's just turns, right? Like, I can Mystic the Lulu before that goes off, but we aren't surviving one more attack. We just need to kill him before his next attack, right? And we have a way of doing so here. We've got a total of the 7 damage we need with the Boom Crew and the Get Excited attack, and the Teemo to follow it up, right? So this is the best block. We're playing around block Fizz. We can't block Fizz because the Prankster needs to be blocking on the right side so that we send him down to 7s, that we're killing him with Boom Crew, Mystic, Get Excited, right? That's why we can't block the Fizz there. There's no, guys, there's no upside in being at 8 health instead of 7 right now, right? Like, just make sure everything you're doing for a reason. We have an open attack with Boom Crew now, which means we have 7 damage from hand.
Don't mind me.
Right? Like, there's no reason to kill the Lulu with the Mystic Shot because we're not buying ourselves a turn by doing that. We have to kill him on turn 7 or 8 because he's killing us on 8 at speed, right? We play around a Mystic Shot in his hand. We could have blocked less. We could have saved our Prankster, but we play around a Mystic Shot in his hand by staying at 7 health. That matters, right? And we have to open attack with Boom Crew, but we were able to, and now we just won, right? Like, you have to be thinking about the game in terms of like what's gonna matter turns from now, right? Not in terms of like what looks good on that current board state. Plan ahead and realize like where you have to win and where you don't. The block, if we had tried to block that Fizz, for example, we would have dealt 1 less damage with the Prankster, which means we wouldn't have just won the game there, right? We needed to do literally every single thing we did. And we wouldn't have been able to win that game if not for the Teemo. That Teemo for 1 mana dealt 4 damage to the opponent, which is a little bit below average, actually. Literally, if you do the math, it's a little bit below average. It's 4 point something is the average. That Teemo for 1 mana on turn 1 dealt 4 damage and was a blocker on turn 5. That's insane. We could not have won that game without Teemo. I think the single biggest problem with deck building I can tell you right now, and I've said this a few times in different ways, but if you want to get better at a deck builder, like the #1 way to do it, literally the #1 way to do it, is to redefine how you think about synergies, right? Like it's true that Shark Chariot comes out with ephemerals, and this deck will have more access to ephemerals, right? But it has, like, when you think of the timings and the goals of the deck, it has anti-synergy, right? Like, synergy is really complicated. There's a lot of different, to say whether a card synergizes with another card or not, you have to evaluate like 6 or 7 different factors, right? There's like the timing of the card, there's the goals of the deck, there's the amount of cards it hits with each other, like 2 cards can synergize with each other. But it's also kind of important, because of how deck building works in Runeterra, for 2 cards to independently synergize with other aspects of your deck. That's a point of synergy, right? Like that's really, really important. For example, Phantom Prankster synergizes with Fading Memories. Not because you want to use Fading Memories on Phantom Prankster, but because they make you want to use the same cards, both of them, right? Like Fading Memories is good on used Cast Salesman, which Phantom Prankster is good with, right? Like synergy is very, very complicated. Shark Chariot, on the most surface level possible, it does have like the ephemeral keyword, and the monkeys are going to give you a lot of ephemerals, but the points of a Prankster deck is to lose control of the board intentionally, right? Like, Prankster doesn't actually want you to summon that many units. And again, I'm not just saying that you should redefine how you're thinking about Shark Chariot. You need to redefine how you're thinking about Prankster too, right? Because like when you look at Shark Chariot, you might see a card that just wants you to run a lot of ephemerals, and that's one of the things it wants you to do, but only one of the things it wants you to do, right? It wants you to play a deck that is able to defend itself in some ways, and a deck that's able to potentially like do some kind of like rally system, which is why Shark Chariot has historically been best in like Lucian style decks. At like 1 or 2 points in the past, it's been okay, right? Like you need some way of being able to get extra value out of that, and Shark Chariot is also a great synergy point with, you know, things that are limiting your board slots. Like most of when Shark Chariot has been decent was with Grand Plaza, because it allowed you to do a 6 wide attack with a landmark that otherwise limits 6 wide attacks, right? Like Shark Chariot wants you to do a lot of things. And by the way, that does work with like Monkey Idol too. That same synergy point does apply. So that's important. But the entire idea of like a Prankster deck is that you want to lose control of a board at a certain point in time. Why is that? That sounds weird, right? Because the point of Prankster is that she should scale with the amount of units that you run in your deck, right? Because you just want a lot of allies to die, and then Prankster will deal more damage, right? Well, that's not true at all. Because the way the timing ends up working with Prankster is you'll block down a little bit. I mean, A, you might outdraw Prankster. B, Prankster might or will die. But C, the way decks work in Runeterra is like they're always ending the game on like, they're threatening to end the game on 7, 8, or 9. And Prankster is a card that is going to run out of ways of being able to achieve value if you're just playing units, right? Like, if you're reading one part of this card, you see like, oh, it scales with the amount of units. That's good to add units. But then you read the other part of this card. You read it deals 1 to the enemy nexus. And when you're building a deck that just wants to do over the top damage, you just want more ways of over the top damage. You're sort of invalidating the opponent's board state, if that makes sense, right? Think about it like this. This is sort of counterintuitive, but it makes sense. What the idea is, when you kill the opponent in a way that doesn't touch their board, when you use elusives or burn to kill the opponent's nexus in a way that doesn't touch their board, you are gaining value equivalent of discarding their board. That sounds a little weird because like you're thinking, well, I just won the game. That's the value that it's getting me. But like, you can think of it like the point of elusives and burn is to discard the opponent's board. That's basically what it does. When you kill them without going through their board, it's the same value as like ruinating their board. It's weird to think about it like that, but trust me, it makes sense, right? And so you kind of gain value in these situations when you use things like chump blockers and things like maybe like frostbites, stuns, temporary things that allow the opponent to build up a board while invalidating it, right? You're not really trying to remove their units usually, except sometimes in the very early game in weird hands, but you're trying to basically make the opponent's board not do anything. You mean disregard rather than discard? No, I said what I meant. Like, you're literally ruinating their board. You are getting the exact value as if you ruinated their board. It's discarded, and that's what you want, right? And so cards like Shark Chariot in a burn deck have a steep anti-synergy, because the point is to invalidate the opponent's board, but then you're playing this and they'll just block this, right? And so the idea of like Shark Chariot working with Monkey Idol, it kind of sounds good on surface, but when you look at like what these cards want you to do, they're literally opposite. Like not just not good, but actually intentionally doing the opposite of what the other wants, despite, yeah, both of them saying the word ephemeral on them, right? Like Shark Chariot ends up really, really awkward in a deck like this, right? When Shark Chariot has been good, it's been, you know, harrowing style decks, things that don't disregard the board, right? Now I'm saying disregard. Yeah, things that, you know, your opponent just runs out of blockers against, but that's the opposite of how this deck is playing. So just, you know, if you want to get better at the game or deck building in general, just redefine how you're thinking about synergy. Synergy is a lot of things at once. It's timing and game plan, and a lot of like indirect synergy is literally more important than direct synergy. Literally. That sounds weird, but your cards, like card A and card B, both working with card C matters more than card A working with card B. Literally. Like, you don't want your synergy cards, you don't want two cards that like, oh, this card works with this card. You want two cards that work with the rest of your deck together, even if they don't work with each other. That's more synergy than card A working with card B, right? Like, thinking about synergy in that way, like a holistic deck building sense, will be the one thing that takes everyone, like, honestly, no matter what your skill as a deck builder is, just that mentality will be the best way to improve deck building, period. All right, so this is a Zero Relia, and we have two Chirean Sumpworkers. This is, in theory, one of like the nut cases for Sumpworkers, because a Zero Relia is a deck that you can't stall out, so you have to race them down, and they're also a deck that doesn't really have a direct way of answering Sumpworker. They've got elusive blockers, which is pretty annoying, but it's not like the most direct thing ever. So in theory, this should be the case where Sumpworker does the most. It's a really bad matchup, by the way. This is like a horrendous matchup, so Sumpworker might not even do enough to win us the game, but it'll at least like maybe do the most. Bit of an awkward sequence here. Sumpworker on 2, Sumpworker on 3. We're attacking on odds. He then plays a unit on 3, so the sparring student's not going to die. In fact, neither sparring student's going to die. In fact, I think we lost this game. This game just looks incredibly doomed. I mean, this is about as bad of a matchup as you can imagine. Like a Zero Relia into like full burn is actually basically unwinnable for burn. Am I actually just going Elise here instead? Like if he had, okay, he's got 3 sparring student. Honestly, at this point, it's just funny. Like this hand would be even like favored matchups. That's hilarious. Oh, good shit, dude. Maybe he has no other units and all of them just die to the posse. How funny would that be? I mean, that's obviously not gonna happen, but it's really funny. I made you throw it to you. Oh, thank you. All right, here, 1 second. Oh no, he has a unit. All right. Well, I'm pushing damage. Big damage. All right. So he whiffs lethal here, and then we open attack with Posse and kill his entire board. Easy, right?
Everything's better with company.
Why am I still in this game?
Won't find better this side of the sun.
Come.
This guy does have a pretty good hand. Yeah. It's not bad.
Maybe you need a closer look.
I guess this is like the only free block my posse's getting. Alright, sure, seems good.
get
I'm
you
taking a
by.
bit of damage here. You know, that's pretty nice. Going I mean, maybe his entire board does just die though. Like, what if, right? I'm just glimpsing that one to tilt you guys. All right, this is it. This is the one. The open attack, the entire board just dies. This works literally every time. This never doesn't work. All right, guys, this is it. Check this out. All right, bam. GG, dude.
Where you going?
Yeah. Yeah. There's no way.
Hold up.
There's literally no way. What the fuck? Alright, we're definitely getting baited. Come on, man. I think I know this guy, by the way. I know the name Octopuses. He was like a Gwent player. He would bait me. Oh my god. No way. No fucking way. All right, bot board. Holy shit. Wait a second. Wait a second. What an easy game. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Posse is nuts. We're good. Yeah, no, we couldn't possibly need anything else. What an easy game. All right, GG, dude. What the fuck? I mean, honestly, he didn't even have that many answers, right? Like, the deck doesn't even run like Palm. When you think about it, our odds there were actually pretty good. Deny? Yeah, it's basically just deny. Like that posse actually just asked to this matchup. What? What the hell? How did this happen? Like, I don't think there's anything he can do anymore. Like, they can't recover from losing that much of a board. Oh, he's blade dancing. Wow.
So, a warlock.
It will all be over soon.
Oh, sick attack, bro.
What's your hurry?
Prankster's actually also really good at just absorbing these Sand Soldier attacks. But what if he uses Shifting Sands? I don't think I could possibly need this Prankster, actually. Yeah, no, I think we are just good here. I think I meant Shapestone. I swear to God, every card that has those initials SS. There's like 7 of them in the game, and I just say the initials interchangeably. All right, seems good to you.
Don't like your tone.
All right, what an easy game. What can I say? All right. I mean, honestly,
A right.
Chirean, huh?
Took.
That matchup is basically unwinnable otherwise, by the way. And he had like the best hand. Oh God, I shit you not. Right before that, I was just about to cut the card from the deck. I was like, yeah, I'll give it one more game. Yeah. Ah. I'm talking about synergy, and I'm talking about cards being good with each other and cards being kind of baity. I wouldn't go as far as to say Blighted Caretaker is bad with Prankster, because it's not, but it's definitely a lot less good with Prankster than it looks like. Usually Blighted Caretaker is often best when it's played on like turn 3, and Prankster is often best when it's played on like 3, 4, 5 kind of range. Sometimes turn 3, but like usually Blighted Caretaker is like an early stabilizer against like weak health things that it can kill. When you're playing Blighted Caretaker on like turn 5, then you're dealing damage off of Prankster, but you're also not usually trading down a board effectively, right? Like the timing of these cards doesn't really align super well with each other. That being said, the explicit synergy of this dealing a total of like 3 or 4 damage off of Prankster is high enough that, you know, there is something there. Like, I'm not going to say that this is a complete bait, but it's definitely not as good as it looks. You know, that's the idea of synergy. You're weighing pros and you're weighing cons. I can tell you right now, every card in the entire game has like, when you look at 2 cards in the entire game, they have some ways that they synergize with each other and some ways that they anti-synergize with each other. Period. Like, like I said, there's like 6 or 7 factors you have to be taken into account when you're determining whether a card is actually good with another card or not. And that means that there's always going to be pros and cons, right? Like when you look at this, like it has some synergy points with Prankster, it has some anti-synergy points with Prankster, and you have to weigh them, right? Like that's how we measure synergy. That's the way to do it. Yeah. At this time though, it is looking like we actually have no reason to run Prankster in a Bandle deck. Oh god. Kindred Elise. This matchup doesn't feel good. All right, what's the game plan here? Basically a lot of removal with some early pressure. I mean, normally this is where we want our own Elise and Teemo. Those are like the most important things in this matchup. Even like Stygian Onlooker is good because you can usually like, they usually don't have enough like Vile Feast. They take some damage. I think I have full mulligan. I need Teemo and Elise basically. Iterative is good on so many things in this deck. Iterative is good on exactly one thing in this deck, and it's all right on exactly one other thing in this deck, and it's bad on everything else. Like,
Prepared for anything.
okay, off to a good start. All right, new plan. So we draw Elise or Boom Karuki in the next 2. All right, new plan. So he doesn't have Mystic Shot.
There's nothing to fear.
We get to kill the spider for free. That's kind of nice. Iterative is good on both Nightfall cards. Yes, those are okay. It's situationally good on Stygian, and on Doom Beast it's like a 5-mana Doom Beast. Guys, calling Iterative good on Doom Beast is saying that you would run a 5-mana Doom Beast in your deck.
You dare!
Iterative is like, Doom Beast unbricks Iterative, but it's not good on Doom Beast. I wouldn't run a 5-mana Doom Beast in this deck. Alright, I'm sure he just has no Mystic and we're just good. Yeah.
Can a spirit fight to the death? We can all learn.
Wait. No Mystic? I mean, I'm sure he'll just kill it like, you know, he'll probably thermo it here. He was probably just like, yeah, I'll tank a hit. Okay. We're getting trolled. Listen, dude, I know you've got something at least. I mean, there's no actual way this guy doesn't have something. I mean, he's probably gonna like threaten Glimpse or something. Yeah, I think I actually just let this through entirely. That's good to me. Yeah, go for it. So he's got to try to threaten this now. Probably like Vile Feast into something else.
We must all make
I mean, I'm just gonna wipe this board. I mean, I'll wipe the spiders at least. These spiders are getting very wiped.
First one's free.
Static Shock is pretty much what you'd be thinking this long on. What? Of course we're horroring that. So, I mean, the question is it worth using Fading Memories on Posse at this point? I think it basically has to be. I don't know. I still have to develop it into the attack because it's ephemeral. That's really bad. Counter argument, I have literally nothing possibly better to Fading Memories in this hand. The sand is actually unwinnable. Alright, win condition, win condition, win condition.
No refunds.
That's not a win condition. All right, we're accelerating all of a sudden. What is this, 5? What is this, sort of kind of 9? Okay, so we're technically only 1 damage short if we just survive. And honestly, it looks like he's just kind of dying here. Looks good to me. Okay. Wait, are we good here? This is really funny. Hold up. Wait a second. Wait, Chireans are nuts in this deck. There's actually just nothing he can do.
The sea is too shallow.
Oh, hey, Buru, what's up? Yeah, I mean, these are all fearsome anyway, so the casks aren't doing anything. I am gonna need blockers since my casks are like sending me to 10 health somehow. Who knows how that happened? All right, we're literally 1 damage short. I mean, I've got like probably 2 draws to hit that 1 damage. And this guy can't kill me here.
Light is the lure.
What are we taking, 6? I can play around to like double get excited hands by playing Elise here. If I play Elise here, it's a little bit harder to top deck stuff like Glimpse. Top decking Doom Beast is still good enough. Top decking. Wait, we can actually kill all of his fearsome blockers for a Stygian Onlooker top deck. I do have to Elise here.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
Evershade? Wait a second. Alright, so we're dying to some over the top hands all of a sudden. What are we taking? Yeah, I mean, he could just like get excited us. I don't think he's not in this. Yeah, no, we can't block any more than this. I mean, obviously using a spell on one of these is just terrible. We just have to be okay with losing to that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, hey, that works for me. Whee. All right. Looking for 1 damage. 1 damage in a dream. Give me the 3rd mystic, please. Give me anything. Just give me something. Well, that is technically some kind of lethal. I mean, I don't think he ever kills me here, right? Yeah, no, there's just no way. I mean, it's damage. I asked for damage. We're beating like go hard hands now. That's pretty good. You know, take that. Take the go hard hands.
Sink your fear.
I mean, holy shit.
You dare!
First one's free.
All right. I spot lethal. There's the go hard. Okay. Still got lethal. Okay. You got anything else? You don't have anything else, do you? Oh, that's right.
Never won.
No way. No shot. What an easy game.